CEO couldn't eat anything except food cooked by a little girl. Then he discovered she was his daughter. Hello guys, welcome to Luxurious Stories. Please leave a like and subscribe to our channel for more interesting stories. Let's get into the story. The winter air in downtown Chicago was cruel that morning, sharp enough to bite through coats and pride alike. Yet amid the frost and gray sidewalks, a small crowd gathered around a rickety food cart, pushed by a little girl whose hands were red from the cold, but steady with purpose. Mila Hart was only 6, yet her fried rice carried a warmth that felt almost impossible. Steam curled into the air, thick with aroma, and people swore they had never tasted anything like it. Not luxury food, not restaurant food. This was comfort, memory, and longing all tangled together. Mila smiled shyly as customers praised her, unaware that her life was about to collide with someone who had been missing her without knowing it. Ethan Blackwood sat in the back of his black sedan, staring blankly at the city he owned more than he cared to admit. Billionaire CEO, media darling, silent sufferer. For years, food had tasted like dust to him. Depression hollowed him out after a mysterious incident 7 years ago, leaving his appetite gone and his nights haunted. His driver slowed when the crowd appeared, and before Ethan could protest, the smell reached him. Something stirred in his chest, sharp, unexpected hunger. Against habit and reason, he stepped out, drawn forward as if pulled by something unseen. Mila saw him instantly. Her eyes widened, her small body freezing in place before she broke into a run. She slammed into his legs, wrapping her arms around him like she had practiced the moment 100 times in her dreams. "Daddy!" she cried, loud enough to silence the crowd. Gasps followed. Ethan stiffened, shock crashing through him. But when he looked down, something fractured inside his chest. He didn't know this child, yet his heart reacted before his mind could catch up. Her face felt familiar in a way that hurt. Lydia Hart rushed forward, mortified, apologizing profusely as she pulled Mila back. But Ethan wasn't listening. His eyes were locked on the jade pendant hanging from the child's neck, half of a broken charm. Slowly, almost fearfully, he reached into his coat and pulled out the matching piece he had carried for 7 years, the only remnant from a night he barely remembered. The two pieces fit together perfectly. The world tilted. Ethan bought a plate of Mila's fried rice. One bite changed everything. The food didn't just taste good. It awakened something buried, something alive. He finished the plate, then another, tears stinging his eyes as his body responded for the first time in years. That night, for the first time in forever, he slept without pills. The next morning, he ordered a private investigation and a DNA test, unable to ignore the truth clawing at him. The results shattered and healed him all at once. Mila was his daughter. Lydia, the quiet woman struggling beside the cart, had been a victim of the same drugging incident years ago. She had never known Ethan's identity, only that she was pregnant and alone. She raised Mila in poverty after her father, Oliver Hart, a legendary chef, died under suspicious circumstances that were quietly buried. Ethan's grief turned to rage, then resolve. He entered their lives carefully, not with declarations, but with presence. He helped with Mila's schooling, ensured Lydia's safety, and watched his daughter cook with a focus far beyond her years. He learned Oliver Hart's legacy had been stolen by his protege, Victor Kane, a man who built an empire on betrayal and blood. Mila cooked not to impress, but to love, and that love healed Ethan more than any doctor ever had. When Ethan moved them into his home, it wasn't luxury that mattered, but belonging. Laughter replaced silence. Meals replaced pills. And when Ethan entered Mila into a national cooking competition, it wasn't for fame, it was for justice. The stage was set, the past rising to meet the present, and the truth was finally ready to be served. The competition venue buzzed with tension the moment Mila Hart stepped inside, her small fingers wrapped around Lydia's hand, while Ethan walked just behind them, steady and watchful. Cameras flashed, judges whispered, and contestants sized one another up. Victor Kane arrived like royalty, draped in confidence and cruelty, his reputation towering over the room. When his eyes landed on Mila, a flicker of mockery crossed his face. A child, he thought, an easy win. He didn't recognize the pendant around her neck, nor did he sense that the ghost of his past had finally found him. Mila, however, felt no fear. The kitchen felt like home, and the scent of ingredients calmed her racing heart. As the round progressed, Victor dazzled with theatrics, liquid nitrogen, rare imports, and techniques designed to intimidate rather than nourish. Mila cooked quietly, She washed rice the way her grandfather had taught her, slow and careful, whispering love into every motion. Judges began to notice the contrast. While others chased applause, Mila cooked with sincerity, her small face serious, her movements precise beyond her age. Ethan watched from the sidelines, his chest tight with pride and pain, knowing that every stir of her spoon carried the weight of a stolen legacy. The final round arrived. The challenge was simple. Cook a dish that tells your story. Victor smirked, presenting an extravagant plate that screamed wealth and ego. Mila served a humble bowl of fried rice, garnished lightly, steam rising like a promise. When the judges tasted it, the room changed. One judge wept openly. Another closed his eyes as if transported back to childhood. They tasted loss, resilience, and love. They tasted truth. The verdict was unanimous. Mila Hart won. The applause was thunderous. But Ethan raised a hand before celebrations could continue. Evidence flooded the screens, financial records, forged documents, and witness testimonies. Victor's face drained as the truth unraveled. Oliver Hart's murder was exposed, his poisoning traced back to Victor's ambition. Police stepped forward. Handcuffs clicked shut. Justice, long delayed, finally arrived. In the aftermath, Lydia reclaimed her father's restaurant, its doors reopening under the Hart name. Ethan stood beside her, not as a savior, but as family. Months later, beneath soft lights and warm laughter, Ethan and Lydia married, sealing a bond forged by fate and choice. Mila stood between them, smiling brighter than the world. Years passed. Mila became a global prodigy, her food celebrated not for extravagance, but for soul. Ethan, once hollow, was whole, and in every dish Mila cooked, the secret remained the same, the love that saved a broken man and reunited a family that was never truly lost. I'm glad you enjoyed the story. Don't forget to follow, share, and comment your thought about the story. See you in the next story.